Okay, it's very rare you'll see me do a video like this, but this is a video about a fight I actually like in the UK, but I'm concerned about. His name is Frank Buglioni, or Buglioni. He's 9-0 with 6 knockouts. He's a super middleweight, 6'1", and he's from Enfield, Winchmore Hill, my neck of the woods. I once worked a few years ago at Winchmore Hill Cricket Club. I was their head coach there. So love Enfield, love the area, and really have nothing to say bad about Frank himself. Don't know him. All I can say is when I listen to him and I look at him, he reminds me of Frank Lampard, the footballer who plays for Chelsea in England. Okay, and I'm sure he's been told that a lot of times. Now let's get down to boxing. Now, I'll tell you why I like Frank. Frank's very marketable, and you see he's nicknamed the Wise Guy, and you'll see him on Box Nation, and he gets a lot of fans there, lots of loyal fans, and as I said, I like Buglioni, but here's my problem with Buglioni. Yes, he's had 9 fights and he's won 6 by knockout, but there are things, it's a reoccurring pattern with Buglioni. He has nice hands, nice hand speed, decent footwork, but he gets hit way too often. Way too often, Buglioni. Frank, in every fight I see Buglioni in, he gets tagged, right? Now, I don't know if Buglioni's got a good chin or not. He's taking good punches, and I'm sure maybe in the gym he'll know, because obviously he's fighting guys that are probably better. So I know for a fact he's inspiring Bruce Scott, and Bruce Scott's a cruiserweight, and Buglioni is a super middle. So, he's sparring Bruce Scott, who's not mug when it comes to throwing punches. So, my concern, this sounds really far-fetched, but listen to me, hear me out. Frank Buglioni could be the British version of Oscar De La Hoya. And hear me out with this. Okay, he may not have the Golden Boy's pedigree in terms of a Olympic gold medalist, but he's got the good looks. He's got a bit of charisma there. He's got fairly good hand speed, can box a bit. But I just feel, and this is no slight about his trainer, but I'm not seeing improvements from Frank Buglioni. I'm really not. He's 9-0 as a fighter with 6 KOs. Okay, but he doesn't move his head, or he'll start moving his head for a couple of rounds, and then his head stays still, and then he's easy to hit. I don't know if he's got stamina issues. I don't know what it is. He gets frustrated if he can't knock a guy out quickly. I'd like to see Frank use his jab more. Be conscious that somebody's throwing punches back at him. Because as you move up in class, Frank, and I'm sure you're aware of it, you're going to get tagged more often. And whereas at the moment you're in fights where you're walking through those punches and being able to throw your own bombs back to fight back, and your crowd's going, "Whee!" And on Box Nation is saying, "Oh, Buglioni's doing this and Buglioni's doing that." Being constructive, right, in these fights of learning, I'd like to see you keeping your hands up more. Or if you're not keeping your hands up, learning to, slip punches. When a punch is coming, learn to ride the punch more. Do you know what I mean? Slip a punch or block a punch and counter. Them sort of things would love to see you work on. Because I think, you've got everything else there as a package. But if you don't, and you keep leaving your chin out to dry, eventually, it might not even be somebody who's highly rated. It's going to take your head off for you. And that would be a sad thing to see. But I think Buglioni's got a lot of potential. I don't know how Buglioni trains. I'd love some point to get an interview with him, because I'm seeing the same things happen over and over and over again. Now, this is his 10th fight coming out, so people might say to me, "Hey, whoa, you're being a bit harsh on Buglioni." No, I'm not being harsh. Fighter I like. But because I like a fighter, doesn't mean I can't be maybe slightly critical of him. So I'm saying, I think Buglioni's a good fighter. However, I think that his head movement and his lack of defense is going to be a problem as he moves up the rankings. He's ranked 15 in the super middleweight division, and you just think to yourself, well, for argument's sake, let's say he was going to fight George Groves in a year's time, and he keeps doing that, he's going to get his head taken off, because, fighting, boxing is about hit and not get hit. And Frank's a decent looking guy. Like, I'm not doing this in a really, like I fancy Frank or something. But what I'm saying to you is that he's a decent guy, but a nice guy and all the rest of it. But when I talk about as a fighter now, you can't afford to take chances, and I feel that Buglioni's taking way too many chances to impress the fans. Frank, you got a hell of a career ahead of you. Forget trying to please the fans. Get out there, do the job, work behind your jab, and keep your chin out of harm's way. Box behind the jab, man. Keep that chin tucked in. Keep the chin tucked in and just box behind the jab. Keep behind it. Fast combinations in and out. And if you can't knock the guy out, fine. Just working, getting in and out, throwing your punches, making him miss and making him pay. That's it. So, will Frank Buglioni in his 10th fight show any improvements? I really hope in his 10th fight the combat box he does. Because, you can't keep getting hit like that, Frank. So, good hand speed, decent power, decent pop, young, 24 years old. I wouldn't want your career to be ended early because you got careless. Stop trying to have a row to impress the fans. Because one day you'll have a row and come unstuck. Stick to your boxing, mate. And so that's my thoughts on Frank Buglioni. Let me know what you think. And have you ever seen a fight with Frank Buglioni and the commentators are always saying Buglioni's doing this and Buglioni's doing that, and they're surprised that the other guy's throwing punches back? There's biased commentary. Fact of the matter is, like I said, just needs to keep your head moving for more often. And if you can't learn to move your head, get somebody in the gym who get a sparring partner that will take your head off for you. And so therefore, at least if you get dropped in sparring, you get hurt in sparring, it's behind closed doors. That's it, Frank. Good luck in your next fight against whoever you fight next. And this is me, Bayloric. I'd love to get an interview with you and talk to you further. This is Bayloric TV, and I'm out. Take care.